welcome along to the Gytes, and we have got National Cup action. It's on the Under-16s National Cup, and it's Peebles who are welcoming Ayr Wellington. And Peebles lining up this afternoon. They've got a couple of talented players in the backs. Ross Wolfenden and Chris Thompson are two players to keep an eye out for, and also look out for Louis White, the flyer who can run the 100 metres in just shy of 11 seconds, is somebody who Ayr will have to try and keep under wraps. And up front, Robbie Hardy, the captain, will look to try and lead from the front, impose himself on this game. For Ayr, Jack Craig is a very exciting talent at outside centre, and Peebles will be looking to try and keep him quiet for the proceedings this afternoon. But also in the forwards, Jake Shearer is a formidable runner in the loose, and he'll be a player which a lot of spectators will be looking to try and see the best of from an Ayr Wellington point of view. And the ball's now fished out to the winger there, Scott Cox, who tries to go round his opposite man. He does that, but it's a great covering defence there from Chris Thompson. Another player to keep an eye out for. He shone very well in the 7th circuit earlier on in the season. He's a player who does link up very well with Wolfenden. It just happens that their dads are the coaches, but they are talented individuals in their own right as well. So a couple of playmakers there, and they'll be looking to try and release the likes of Burnett Godfrey at outside centre as well, as the ball comes back on a Peebles side from the line out. And they'll hopefully be trying to get some momentum into their game as Wolfenden just spins the ball out as Thompson's found a little bit of space, and he's looking to just nudge the ball in behind and try and pin Ayr back inside their own 22. And it's a well executed kick, and it allows Peebles to put a little bit of pressure onto Ayr. It's difficult because I think at this level there's a lot of, you're developing as a rugby player and a person, and a lot of this comes down to individual brilliance, doesn't it? Sometimes it's not always team cohesion. As Chris Thompson comes on the blind side here, he's trying to manipulate an overlap. He manages to get Miles McLaughlin in a bit of space, and he's scampering up the touchline here. He's been well defended there by Daniel McKinley, and they're trying to get the ball back on a Peebles side, and they're scampering in there, and Wolfenden plays scrum half there and feeds Aidan McDowell. And Aidan McDowell carrying in there, and the referee Graham Bell awarding the penalty, and that was dangerous for Ayr. Peebles manipulating the blind side, and you can see the pace that Chris Thompson has, and the guile as well, being able to just distribute the ball to the winger. And that was an early warning shot for Peebles, and shows what they can do. And it's going to be Andy Duncan, the hooker, thrown in, and that's a well executed line out straight off the training ground, but it's bobbled loose when they're trying to manipulate this phase of play. But as came back on the Peebles side, and Bailey Fairbairn, he feeds the captain, and he's distributed to try and shift the point of contact, and Fairbairn recycles himself well, and Wolfenden finds Thompson. He does well to wrong foot, and that's a great offload, and it's a pass which is spilled over on the far side, and it is Louis White to get the opening score of this afternoon. First blood to Peebles.
I think that'll give them confidence. It was great to see them move the ball wide very quickly, because they could have pounded the line, but actually it was a great pick up by the winger. That might just settle this Peebles team. They've looked very nervy in the first opening 10 minutes, but that definitely will do their conference a power of good.
And as Aidan McDowell manages just to break free of the 22, now the captain with a rampaging run there. Robbie Hardy just sitting down the defender, who was probably reluctantly standing in front of him on that occasion. A great run from the youngster there, and Peebles now trying to get through the gears and go through the phases, and Wolfenden now pulling the strings, and it looks like there's an overlap on that far side, and it's tucked under the arm there for Thompson trying to go round the defender. He was maybe short of options on the open side there, as the supporting players really couldn't keep pace with Thompson there, and Wolfenden now just sticking up the jumper and taking it tight and direct to this Ayr defence, and Thompson now acting as the distributor at first receiver. And it's very impressive, the structure so far that Peebles have shown, attacking and defensive structure, as they cough the ball up there, and the ball's now got through to the far side here, and it is Scott Cox, the Ayr winger, who's tasked with trying to keep the ball alive, but on this occasion not able to. But you feel Peebles are starting to get into this game a little bit, and they're starting to get through the gears as Graham Bell just signals for the scrum put in.
I would say Bailey Fairbairn at scrum half is getting that ball away really well. It gives the fly half Ross a lot of time, and his distribution so far has been excellent. His inside centre Chris Thompson's a lovely handler of the ball, and as you know, outside centre Callum Burnett Godfrey, absolutely outstanding runner. If they can get more of the ball to him in space, they'll do a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's a stocky little individual, the outside centre for Peebles, and certainly in the Melrose game I was very impressed with him. Very dynamic and industrious in attack and defence, and when you've got two naturally gifted rugby players inside you, as Wolfenden and Thompson are, it allows you to do your job a little bit more in the outside channels.
But as you know, it starts here in this scrum. It starts up front. Dale, games are won and lost, aren't they, up front? And if they can get more than parity, if they can get going forward here, put Ayr under pressure, suddenly Peebles will be on the up. Yeah,
it's a solid scrum there from Ayr Wellington. And they're getting the ball through the hands from their inside centre, Alexander Hay. He's finding his teammate Jack Craig, and he scampers downfield there and tries to distribute, but it's came back on a Peebles side, and if they can get the big fend in and get some open prairie, they might be in behind here, but it's been thwarted there from Ayr, and Peebles now looking to build some more momentum as the offload there from Wolfenden comes in, and that's a great tackle from Ayr Wellington, just driving the Peebles attacker back. I think that was the hooker Morton Davey for Ayr Wellington putting in that good tackle, recycling himself well as well. Now McDowell going round the corner, good clean out from Peebles. Not really committing a lot of numbers to the breakdown, but they're managing to get the ball back secure as Jimmy Fairbairn takes the ball up, and Wolfenden now, he's tasked with trying to find Thompson yet again, and he's found a little bit of space in behind, and that is from this angle that looked...
Yeah, I think the ball hit the line, and if the ball hits the line, it's straight out in the full. Just clipped the whitewash there.
Good line out there from Ayr Wellington. They get the ball away from the line out quickly, trying to play off the top, and they manage to get the ball through the hands. Now in the midst of Jack Craig. He takes the ball over the 10 metre line with another good run. He's certainly looking like a dangerous player for Ayr Wellington when they get the ball in space, and now looking to try and go direct through Jake Shearer. Picking up at the ruck and driving this Peebles defence back, and the ball's coming back on an Ayr side, and again through the fly half, he's just sizing up his options. Lewis Duncan, he's just twisting and weaving his way out of trouble there. He manages to get the offload in as well, and Ayr Wellington looking to try and offload and recycle this ball, and they've got space over that far side if they're able to distribute. It's inside centre, Alexander Hay, he's got his winger Fraser Watson in support there, but a great cover defence from Louis White. Good cover and tackle there, and Peebles again averting the danger. And I think this was something which was a concern for Peebles, was the fact that they'd not really been tested in regional rugby, and this is an opportunity to play at a team at a higher level, and you can see here they are being tested with the Ayr attack.
We're now in 15 minutes into the game, and it's definitely equal, so they've got to really focus, stay mentally strong, and hopefully play the whole 70 minutes like this.
Peebles looking to try and attack from deep. They've got the overlap there, and that's a big fend, and Peebles now scampering their way downfield, and it is the flyer Louis White who got the opening score of this afternoon's quarter final. He was breaking free from the 22, and Peebles looking to just attack from deep, and Thompson just slicing his way through the Ayr defence effortlessly for the youngster there.
And you can see that the Ayr team are, from this angle, they are offside again, so that's something that they're getting away with at the moment.
Yeah, just creeping offside there, and Wolfenden again spilling the ball over the far side to the flyer, and a good offload there, finds a teammate in support, and Peebles recycling the ball well, and just from the blink of an eye they were on the 22, their own 22, they break free, and now they're on the cusp of the Ayr 22.
Advantage for the high tackle.
Yeah, on Hardy with a good run, and about the ball is going to bounce. It's a cross field kick for Peebles. A good option there with the advantage coming, but the bounce of the ball not kind to Peebles on that occasion. It's a talented, tight-knit group here that have played a lot of rugby and a lot of sports together.
Tight-knit, and a big number as well, 40-45 at training. They've been great all the way since Peebles Piranhas as they keep the pressure on here, and it's great to see they've stayed together.
And they're trying to stay together here and get the nudge on from the line out, and the mall's well constructed here. They just try to use brute force and get closer to that line, and it's been well driven forward there from Peebles, but it does come up short. But it has come back on a Peebles side as the forwards all rumble in and try and stake a claim to grabbing that ball and getting closer to that try line, as the captain there looks to try and just barge his way over, but he's been met with some stern defence there from Ayr Wellington, and again they knock at the door again to try and get an answer, but on this occasion it's firmly shut, and now it's Wolfenden just sidestepping his way back through trouble and going back to the contact zone again and setting up and giving the forwards a chance to get round the corner. And Graham Bell not quick there, but he's eventually moseyed over, and it is Ollie Furness, the player with the try there, the second row, just able to just squeeze over the line and get the ball down, and it shows a different aspect to their play there as well. They've got a good opening first score, but that score there, they're able to show a bit of brute force.
Ollie Furness is 6'4". He's a big, powerful boy, a bit lanky, but he did really well to get over there, and that's a great score to get, after 22 minutes of this game.
Yeah, that'll calm the nerves as Wolfenden now taking up kicking duties. Obviously Thompson missing a couple earlier on as Robbie Shearer-Gibb watches on from the sidelines. He'll be keeping a keen eye on Wolfenden. An attempt there, and the flags go up, so Wolfenden manages to add the extras from fly half. So Peebles lead 12-0. Peebles now pinned back in their own half and having to try and play their way out of trouble, and again Hardy just offering himself up for a trundle upfield. He's been driven back, but it's taken 2 or 3 air shirts to get him down as Wolfenden now trying to keep the tempo high, and that's great skills there from the Peebles backline, and it is Burnett Godfrey who's breaking free. He's looking to scamper inside, and he's managed to get the offload in, and they're trying to release the flyer, and it is Louis White who's going to streak in for a score underneath the post, and Peebles get another score, and from their own try line. That is an excellent score there.
Dale, I would say, would you see a better try than that even in the Six Nations this year? Maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but the confidence in the handling, the offload to Callum Burnett Godfrey as the tackle went in, what another superb offload right on the shoulder, and they've certainly taken the game right to air in this first 25 minutes. The idea now is to keep it going.
Yeah, and you just see that from the restart. Kick deep into their own half. Hardy offers himself up for a carry, shifting the point of contact a little bit wider, but sucking the defenders in, and the quick hands from Thompson and Wolfenden as Thompson adds the extras. The quick hands there just released, got them into that space quickly, and it was just a matter of exploiting it after that. And People's now starting to try and build a little bit more momentum, and the hooker Andy Duncan managing to just go round the corner and just make himself available for a carry as the big runners get outside Wolfenden to offer themselves up now, and Furness, who got the second try of this afternoon.
This pressure by Peebles has forced a penalty advantage, Dale, and I think that's just reward because Ayr are not going back now, so they're
Thompson stabbing through, and it's a foot race now, and the option was on there to try and kick through, but they had the free ball, as you were saying. There was a penalty advantage.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit of a shaky start, but look at the last 10 minutes.
Wolfenden splitting the Kinlan and getting a penalty to add to his earlier conversion. 22 points to 0 now. A scrappy line out from Ayr there, but they managed to get it back on their side. And just looking to get the ball through the hands, and they kick downfield and cough up possession, but there's really nothing else on, and it's now Stephen Nightingale with a chance to try and attack from deep. The players get there quickly, and good communication out wide from Peebles to say that there was no options on the left hand side. They bring it back to the right hand side, but the referee does blow for half time, and it's comfortable so far for Peebles under 16s. The captain there, Robbie Hardy, will be very happy with his teammates' commitments and efforts in the first half. They currently lead 22 points to 0. Tries, 2 from Louis White and 1 from Ollie Furness, has seen them firmly in the driving seat, and you would say Peebles are well worth their 22 point to 0 lead. I've been very impressed with the way that they do conduct themselves. I think it is impressive. They do hold themselves very well, and they've had a very good first half. Peebles here, there's still a bit of time as the ball spilled. Good pressure there from Fairbairn at the base on Cole Graham. Cole Graham just not able to get the ball away, and it's now came back on the Peebles side, and the Hardy now, the captain, again just picking off where he left off in the first half. With industrious work as Wolfenden now sizes up his option, and Thompson looks to just scythe his way through defence, but he's not able to on that occasion. And he's been met well with a couple of defenders who had to scamper across quickly to try and close that gap. There's a great line there from the inside centre.
Look at the work rate, Dale. They're really working hard.
Getting round the corner, there's a gap here. Wolfenden throws the dummy, tries to go back inside. He's shy of the line, but bounces over, and Wolfenden gets a score here. Great work rate from Peebles. Good team try. And Wolfenden almost got himself in a little bit of trouble, but he managed to just wave the wand, sprinkle a little bit of magic on that, and he manages to get himself out of trouble, and that's a great try. It's the inside centre, Chris Thompson, who's got 1 conversion so far this afternoon, looking to try and double his tally. And it's scruffy off the boot. It brushes the post, it kisses the upright and goes over. 29 points to 0 now for Peebles, and they're firmly in the driving seat now.
Yeah, I think when your luck's up, you get conversions like that, don't you? On another day, you don't get that conversion.
Wolfenden now just going to kick it downfield. and he's almost managed to make touch, but he's unable to on that occasion. It's now back in his clutches as he's looking to try and scamper downfield. He does find Thompson. The ball's almost behind him, but a great fend there from Thompson, and he's got another one there. He's trying to get the offload, but not able to just get that to his teammate. Hez came back to Thompson as he was kneeling on the ground, so it's back on the Peebles side. A good option there for the inside centre to try and keep the ball alive, but not able to on that occasion. But Peebles are rewarded with great support. And now a cross-field kick now from Wolfenden, trying to put Ayr under a bit of pressure, and they do manage to get the ball back on their side, and it is the winger, it's Miles McLaughlin, and he manages just to weave his way out of danger, go over for a score, and Peebles now 34 points to 0 to the good.
Yeah, probably was that cross kick on. It probably wasn't, but actually it turned out really well. A bit of majestic diving in the air to get the ball, and picked up by Miles McLaughlin, who's got a lot of power, Miles, and he certainly knows the way to the line, so that's another great score.
And now Wolfenden has got the chance to try and add the extras, and it looks accurate from here. He adds the 2 points.
I know at the school all week they've been talking about the game. They all wanted to be in the 23 out of the 45 boys they've got training, so of course this is a big day for them, and it looks like now they'll get another occasion like this, whether it be home or away. They'll have a big travelling support even if it's away.
And Fairbairn from the scrum managing to try and get the ball over at the far side, and he's managed to give it into his winger, and McLaughlin looks like he's going to try and get over in the corner. The referee has raised his hand in the air to award the score, and McLaughlin now gets his second try of the afternoon, and Peebles now 41 points to 0 up.
Now actually a bit of TMO has just come in there to tell Graham Bell that it was actually in touch. It'll be a 5 metre line out for Ayr. It's probably the correct decision, we can't tell from here, but if there's any doubt about it, when it's 36-0 you can't really give the try, can you?
Not a lot of players over on that far side, but they spill the ball over to Shearer, and Shearer's looking to try and take on some of these Peebles muckers.
Actually, I would say that Ayr are picking up the pace now, and they're actually coming back into this game. Clear penalty off his feet by Rory Doherty, but gives the ball to Ayr.
Furness there with a great challenge, a big tackle, just driving the Ayr attacker back. And Wolfenden again just stabbing the ball downfield and trying to play rugby in the right areas, and it's a scruffy kick from Ayr there. Pass came back to Thompson, and it's inventive play from the youngster. He manages just to lift a foot to the ball and just kick it downfield. He does make the challenge as well, as Connor Little was back there for Ayr. And the ball is going to come back on a Peebles side, and it is Thompson again putting boot to ball, just doesn't manage to just squeeze that ball through the gap. He's going to come back for a penalty. There's a chance here just to add the 3 points and keep momentum going.
And also it gives the team just a chance for a breather, because they've been working hard for these last 5 minutes. You know, sometimes just a minute for a penalty kick, it gives everybody a chance to reload, doesn't it? Yeah,
and it's Wolfenden. He's accurate on that occasion yet again. I always think of teams like Ahoy and Jed, who, you know, have always historically had that expansive brand of rugby, and a lot of the time it is because they do just have skillful rugby players throughout the team. They're not able to build it around having two big towering second rows and have really big front row. So it's certainly something which Borders teams have become accustomed to. At Wolfenden now getting the ball over to White on the wing, and he manages just to escape the attentions of the Ayr players there and weaving his way out of trouble, and I think this man might have the gas to go the distance. Again weaving inside the covering defender there, and White scores from his own half. What an excellent try for the winger, and he gets his hat-trick here this afternoon. That's 3 tries for White.
Yeah, that's just pure power, pure pace. Came really well off that left foot, a bit like Iwan Tukolo did for Scotland back in the 80s and 90s. He's got the power. What a runner.
That's a great display of a winger doing what wingers should do. You know, they take the opportunity, they maximise the space that they have, but the balance of his running and knowing where he wants to go and where the defender's going. What a great try that is from Peebles, attacking from their own half.
Confidence in his own ability. You could tell when he got over that halfway line, couldn't you? You could tell that he knew where the line was then. You know, we were looking, and you know, there was only 1 or 2 defenders back, but he carved them up.
And Wolfenden adds the extras as well. So another 2 points to add to the tally.
Bailey Fairbairn's had a great game, but it's good to bring Sam on. He'll add tempo. He's a really talented scrum half.
He's got the ball to his captain there, Robbie Hardy, again just trucking it up, pumping the legs and trying to get out of danger, and he does again. He's had a brilliant game. I think I've been really impressed with him. And it's now the replacement scrum half, Wardlaw. He finds Wolfenden offloading off the ground, and Wardlaw just looking to try and stretch the point of attack.
great confidence in some of these offloads, isn't there, Dale?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good display of skills. And again, Wardlaw, he does find Wolfenden looking to try and get himself out of trouble, and he's just found the flyer there again. And White, it looks like he could be going over for his 4th try of the afternoon. He does, he stretches over and dots down after good work from Wolfenden. And Peebles get another score, 51 points to 0.
Yeah, it's a great leg drive there for that score. We've got 10 minutes to go. There is actually a thought that at 50 points you could talk to the coaches and see if we need to cut this game short, but at the end of the day there is just 10 minutes to go. Great
weather as well, the sun's shining here at the Gytes. Peebles putting on a performance to... Now it's a formality in terms of they're going to progress to the semi-final of the Under-16 National Youth Cup, but it's just a matter of what is the final score going to be, and we're going to be treated to another 10 minutes of open rugby here between Ayr Wellington and Peebles. And it's been ripped from the challenge there. It's Fairburn who managed just to get his hands on the ball, and he's pushed off of the ball there as he was looking to try and get it under control. And Ayr now juggling the ball about as they try and get some cohesion and continuity into their game. And the 13, Craig now, Jack Craig, just trying to enforce himself on the game and just try and breathe some new life into this Ayr effort. And now Lewis Duncan, the fly half, just dances his way into trouble as well, and the loose ball has been snaffled up there by Cole Graham, the scrum half, and it's going to be a penalty to Ayr. The ball's been spilled over at the far side, and now it's Shearer. Shearer looks to try and go inside the defenders, gets the offload in over on that far side, and he's been bundled into touch there. Great covering tackle there from Peebles.
Just a high tackle there. Peebles just starting to go a wee bit high now, so quite rightly penalised by Graham Bell.
And again, Ayr will be looking to try and go quickly here as Cole Graham has got the ball in his hand.
Probably deserve a score, they've been in the game, you know.
Yeah, I think so.
And they're going to run it.
And it is Shearer. Shearer's he's had an impressive game as well, but he's been a one-man charge at times. He manages just to evade the attentions of a couple of attempted tackles there from Peebles, and it's been snuffled up, but the ball has came out there to Lee Adams, and Ayr managing to build some momentum and some territory, but just when they were starting to get their tails up and get closer and get a sniff of that Peebles line, they infringe at the ruck, and Peebles will be able to kick downfield and relieve the pressure. That's been a striking feature of this game, Dale. Ollie Furness on that occasion, but there's been numerous players doing that all day for Peebles with the turnover, getting low over the ball. Chris Thompson not being able to make contact with that, just comes off the side of his boot and stays in field, and Ayr again get to launch an attack inside the Peebles half as Graham distributing from the ruck there. He's now came back on the Peebles side now, and he managed just to get hold of the ball in the close contact areas there when the tackle was made. And Thompson now looking to try and release himself, and he's just thrown that ball over to White. White now with the big fend on again. He's looking to try and dance in field. Is this going to be a carbon copy of his earlier try again? Lewis White is going in for a score. He's going to go underneath the sticks and dot down for another score for Peebles. Oh, he's a real danger man. I thought they probably should have given that to Innes Cormac there, who was on the inside, but no, he knows the way to the line, doesn't he, Dale? Definitely, I've been really impressed with him. I think that was it was almost a carbon copy of the try he got earlier on. However, he had more work to do there. He had a lot more work to do. The defenders were a lot closer, and he done really well to get himself into an area where he could really push on an attack, and he adds another try to his tally. It's going to be Innes Cormac, who maybe gets some points here this afternoon, and he's going to get 2 points from the boot if he can successfully slot that conversion, which he does. Perhaps their biggest game of rugby that these youngsters will have ever played, and they've got another one on the horizon now, because they've got, I was going to say 1 foot, but they've almost got both feet into the semi-final now. But from the restart, it's Ayr who manages to get the ball straight from the restart there. The Peebles defence scampering back, trying to thwart this attempt, but it has come loose there for Ayr, almost getting towards that Peebles line. But the scramble defence doing well now. Shearer from the ruck looking to just use his brute force to get over the line now, and the bodies arrive. They try and stick it up the jumper and go closer again towards that Peebles line, but the defence holds firm, and they're over the line now, and it is Shearer with the score. And I think if you were to maybe pinpoint an Ayr player, I think Jake Shearer is probably one of the worthy players of some points this afternoon. He's been very industrious at the back of the scrum and gets some reward there with a score for Ayr. is a successful conversion there for Cole Graham, and he gets the 7 points, 58 points to 7 now for Peebles. It's going to be a throw in to the line out for Morton Davey, the Ayr hooker. It's a replacement, so it's Finn Hewitt with the throw in to the line out for Ayr. And the scrum half looking to try and weasel his way out of trouble, and manages to find a supporting player on the flank and looking to try and keep this ball alive. And Ayr doing well to offload, keep the tempo high. And again, Cole Graham distributing from the base of that ruck, and it's Shearer again finding himself in midfield, and again he's breaking the first up tackles. He's done that pretty consistently all day. He's been able to break the first 1 or 2 tackles, but it's the scrambling defence after that have done their job for Peebles here this afternoon, only conceding the 7 points so far.
And look at the work rate. It's still a high work rate, Dale, isn't it? You know, they're still getting their line intact. You know, they're still working hard as 15 that are on the pitch.
Yeah,
and they've got another 1 minute now to hold out and stop here getting that second score.
Yeah, still the work rate's high. I think the players that have come off the bench are certainly want to make an impression as well, because they've now got a semi-final in the back of their minds, and they'll want to try and play themselves into a starting place. Position's very competitive here in this Peebles under-16s team.
Were you always a man, Dale, that wanted your opposite number in the team when you were on the bench to have a bad game so you could get in? Were you always a bit like that?
I was always starting, David.
I was just speaking from experience. And there's the final whistle.
That's full time here, and it is Peebles under-16s who progress to the semi-final in the National Youth Cup, and it has been a formidable performance. 58 points to 7 they win in the end, and it's been a great display, a really good performance, impressive performance from Peebles.
Played in a great spirit, Dale, well refereed. All these players will have really enjoyed the experience. I think Peebles now can look forward to the momentum they've created to go forward into the semi-final of this cup, and who knows where it'll take them. Obviously they want to get to the final, but clearly they are talented enough to do it.
And it is Peebles the victors over Ayr Wellington, and it is Peebles 58, Ayr Wellington 7.
Yeah, it was good. We've been working on and training and keeping the tempo high, and it's good to get a good team performance in.
And you got a few points as well yourself, getting a try and also getting some conversions as well, and a couple of penalties.
Yeah, it was good, practicing the kicking.
But you never got as many tries as the man beside you. Louis White managed to get 5 tries this afternoon and showing a good exhibit of individual brilliance and pace as well, and you'll be chuffed for your efforts.
Oh, I'm very chuffed.
And now looking at, you've had a good season in terms of, you know, you've been formidable in regional rugby. Was this more of a test for you?
Oh, definitely. It was much more of a physical game. I thought the boys really tried hard. It was a good team effort.
Yeah, I think so. I think especially in the initial stages, it took a while for Peebles to settle into the game. But once you and Chris Thompson in the centre, once he started ticking as well, you really got a stranglehold, and then you just never gave up after that.
Yeah, we've got a good partnership, me and Chris, and if it starts going well, then it's good for the team.
So now into the semi-finals, looking forward to that. Is the goal now to really test yourself, go and try and get into that final and pick up the trophy?
Yeah, we're going to try our best. You know, we're gonna put our all effort in, and it's gonna be hard.
and it must be difficult as well, because you've got a big squad. You've all came through together for many years playing rugby. Is it quite difficult to obviously when somebody gets the jersey and maybe one of your friends isn't in the team? Is it competitive? Is it healthy? Is it a good atmosphere?
Yeah, it pushes us on, makes us better. We've got 2 teams and people fight for the jersey in different teams and stuff, yeah.
Perfect. Right, well done today, guys, and good luck in the semi-final.
Thank you very much.